Hello, welcome to the Literary Labyrinth podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to us today. If you are a returning listener, thank you for sticking with us. And if you're a new listener, welcome on in. We are two sisters, one who reads fast.
And the other that reads slow.
Yes, my name is Leela.
And my name's Lynda.
And today's episode is specifically the first ever episode of Lynda's side quest. Now, just to give you a bit of an update, normally we take a book and we will take section at a time of chapters and go through the book, as we did with A Court of Thorn and Roses. But we thought we'd do something a little bit different in this episode because I'm now introducing Lynda into the world of fan fiction.
Yay.
So you've now finally read a fan fiction.
Yes, I have. And yeah, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was okay.
Okay. Well, for those listeners that already know what a fanfic is, forgive me, but I'm going to explain it for those that are unsure. So fanfiction is basically an unauthorized or amateur creative writing piece for the fans based on an existing character, a show or something. Like there's so many for Harry Potter, Star Wars. Sometimes it's bands. It can go on for forever. The opportunities are endless. Yeah, so the main hub for fan fiction is a site called Archive of Our Own. Archive of Our Own is one of the best ones to go on. I know there's other ones called Wattpad, but Archive of Our Own is still the number one because there's so many tags and it allows readers to get such a vast variety of different creative writings from everybody. So we, of course, ask you, the listeners, to please give us some recommendations. I did cull through some because I felt as this was Lynda's very first fan fiction. Let's go easy. Let's introduce her. Let her dip her toe in. Let's not assault her right away. So I picked a fairly short one. It's only 5,000 words, and it is called Keep It Like a Secret by PacificRimbaud. So PacificRimbaud, thank you for your beautiful writing. We enjoyed this little story. It is, the fandom is Harry Potter, and it surrounds the characters Hermione and Draco Malfoy. Yes, the Dramoine FanFic. Here we go again. I know. So it is the category being female and male. So just to put in a forewarning, this is a mature rating. So if you are not 18 plus, please stop listening. Because, I just have to say what I have to say, don't I? 18 plus is a mature rating. So the tags here are romance, light angst, fluff and angst, implied sexual contact, explicit language, secret relationship, pining, mutual pining, friends with benefits, catching feelings, Christmas, wedding, arranged marriage. So
can we speak about the tags? Because
yes, we can absolutely. The tags are so important. Yes.
Because I looked at the tags and I was like, what is this? Christmas/arranged marriage. And I was like, what is this book? Like, I was a bit like, they're like so out there.
Yeah, well, I think the thing with the tags is it's really useful for people so that if there is a fanfic you want to read, you can be like, oh, something is at Christmas time. Okay, there's a wedding. It's arranged. But it doesn't say Christmas wedding. It's Christmas, then wedding, then arranged marriage.
Well,
but yeah,
you did an arranged marriage. What?
Yeah, right. So at least you can be like, okay. So yes, but the tags are great because the tags help you be specific on things you might go, I don't like that. I don't want that. And so what's great about Archive of Our Own is you can filter something and go, no. But since this was your first one, you were gifted a recommendation. So one more time, it's called Keep It Like a Secret by PacificRimbaud. I'm going to ask you a few questions, Lynda, since this is your side quest.
And I will say that as we're discussing this, and it's going to be a whole lot of spoilers in there, if you want to go and read it now and then come back to this podcast later to listen to it, I would suggest you do that. It's really short. I got through it in a day and I was really pleased with myself. So go read it.
Yes, I go through it in like half an hour. So
Well, I was working at the same time and I had to do my lunch.
I know. No, it's all good. It's a really short read and it's very enjoyable. So I have left my kudos for you. Kudos is another thing if you're unaware what kudos is. If you are on Archive of Our Own and you have read someone's fan fiction and you think, oh, I really enjoyed that, I really liked that, you can click on a button at the very bottom after you've read the whole thing, and it's called kudos. Kudos just basically allows them to know that somebody enjoyed their read. They really, authors really appreciate it. So yeah. And I'm actually going to do a terrible thing and publicize my fanfic. So I'm gonna put it down in the description of this podcast. But I wrote a fanfic based around the world of K-pop demon hunters. It's super explicit, super mature.
I haven't read it yet.
R rating. That is what it is. My name is Geek Asylum. That is my fanfic author name. So if you do want to have a look, please check it out. Anyway.
Have you written any others or is this your first one?
I haven't written any more. I'm currently writing part 2 of the one that is out there. There's a part 2 coming. What's gonna happen next? But I have to say, I really appreciate the comments that some people left me. It was all very positive and the kudos was great. So Lynda, first fanfic, Keep It Like a Secret by PacificRimbaud. My first question for you is, so what did you like most about this story? Or perhaps you didn't like it. This is also possible. Is there something you did or did not like about the story?
It was short. I was so pleased with myself that I got to read it. I was like, oh, is that it? Oh, okay, I read it. I did it. I'm so happy. I mean, I liked that it was the world of Harry Potter, so I could kind of got a gist of, I knew people who they were and I knew what was going on. So I liked that bit of it. But also I like that it was short, but also I understand it's kind of like a double-edged sword thing where I I didn't really, I had loads of questions and I'm like, what does that mean? Well, what do they do? Who is a doctor? Like, and I realized it was like a short story and I was like, oh, I won't.
You just got to get straight into it. That's it. Yeah.
Right?
Don't ask these questions. It's not that deep.
Who's that person? So yeah, that's where I kind of fell up on.
Did you have like a favorite moment in the story where you were like, oh, that was nice?
I think the end. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's nice. That's kind of like like most the genre I read most at the moment is like romance. So I'm like, oh, this is lovely and sweet. Listen, I appreciate that it wasn't too graphic. It was a sweet romance that I was like, whoa, that's too much. So
yes, that's why I picked this one. I think it was really nice that it is a very fast-paced read, and it very much is. This is the story. This is what's happening. Hermione is 27. She's working. She is at this party, and Draco is there, and she's just talking to him about what's going on in her life and the fact that she didn't marry Ron. She doesn't want this whole life of domestic housewife, and she just came out of an affair, but the affair that she was having with somebody was at the end when she said, yeah, we're done by the year, and he was like, come and live with me, I want to be with you, and she was like, no. She's just like, oh, why can't I just have,
but I had
if that's what we committed, then that's what we did. And so she's sort of telling Draco this, and then Draco's like, yeah, so I get married in a year, do you want to boink for a year then?
But then
that's it.
I just was like, has the whole Harry Potter universe story happened and this is just afterwards?
Well, she's 27, so yeah, I guess so. You could say.
So how have they kept in touch? Like, is he in the same like business field as her? Like how do they see each other a lot? Like is this the first time they're seeing each other? Or, like, these are the questions I had. I'm like, what happened
Well,
to
I
Ron?
think in
What?
my head, you're overthinking it. I think my head is they all know each other. They all work in the same area. You know, for example, you know, they are paths cross because he works in the ministry, or she, you know, she's working at practice.
Or is he a doctor? I didn't get the whole thing. I was like, what is
You
he?
know, I think that's the thing is you don't need to know too much.
Oh, I
You
just have
just
questions.
no, that's not the important part. The point is they both working, they're both adults, but instead of her marrying Ron and having kids, she's actually just been single, letting herself loose. And Draco's also single, but he's gonna get married in an arranged marriage in a year time. So he's like, well, I don't mind the contractual
Who's
1 year
arranged this
thing. Let's have
marriage? Who's arranged his
hmm?
marriage? I thought his dad was like a. I don't actually know what happened to his dad afterwards, but he's just with his mom. Has his mom arranged this? What's going on?
You could assume that the Black family or the Malfoy family have arranged it. Somebody's
Where's
arranged it.
Ron?
That is, it's not important. It's not important. The point is the people that are important is Hermione and Draco.
I know.
That's
I
it.
just was like, but that when I was reading, that was the bad thing when I was reading this. I was like, okay, I know it was supposed to be like a moment where they first meet, and discuss this proposal, but I was like, but where's Ron? Where is this? Is this magic? What's
Well, you know, these are questions you can very much put in the notes. There's a column at the bottom of every fanfic, and you could be like, I want to know this and this and this and this, and they will probably go PacificRimbaud. It's this and this and this, or what do you think it is? You know, who knows?
I
And they
have a
might
lot of
come back to you with
questions.
something.
I've made a list of
Yeah,
questions.
by all means. But that's the thing is the one thing you have to know about fanfic is you just have to accept the piece for what it is and not go too crazy with it. You know, it's like you say, it's a one shot. These ones are called, this is a one shot story. It's not, it's just they're having an affair and what happens in the affair. So, so how do you feel about Draco and Hermione as a couple in a fan fiction?
That's another thing. Well, yeah, okay.
Because
In
it's
the
huge.
story, it was romantic. It was nice. It was sort of her falling in love and letting someone in, etc., which I thought was nice, and him letting himself open. But at the same time, I was a bit, well, no, you hate each other. You've gone through a lot of bad things, and you've just dissed them. Have you not spoken about why were you like this? Have you got
Pent up
PTSD?
frustration.
Like.
It's it's pent up frustration. That's all it is.
Have you
You
got
know, it's 20, you
PTSD
know,
from
it's,
what
I mean,
happened?
she's 27. They're like, we almost died. Who cares?
Yes,
I
I've
don't
seen
have
a
any
lot of
beef.
people die around them. Hey, do you see your parents? Do they remember you anymore? I'm sorry. So, but I was like, oh, they're falling in love, but these people have a lot of trauma. Why is this not being brought up? Like, oh, God, I'm
The
taking this
traumas
too
have it. I mean,
literal.
she's 27. Let's assume, she's
Is
seen a
that what it?
therapist. Yeah, she's dealt with it. They've all dealt with it. It's
Does
fine.
everyone deal with their trauma by the time they're 27?
This is so not important. What's important is their romance. That's all.
Yeah, I like the romance and the like little bits and kind of keep it secret. And they had a place where they could go and
But
confide with each other.
could you get with it? Could you get with it, or were you like, no, they would never get together. This is just not happening.
No, I could see them together, but then I thought, oh, this is a lot of PTSD. They have like, I
It's
feel
because
like
you've just finished Akatar. That's why.
no, I know. So, and I was like, oh, I feel like nobody's like really kind of addressing what happened at high school here. And I was like,
Yeah.
but no, I thought it was sweet romance. I like that they both they came from, I don't know, they both didn't believe in love, and then they sort of kind of
Mm-hmm.
finded each other, and then, you know, there was a love story there. They were sweet to each other, and I wasn't too sure. Like, I didn't know who Pansy was.
So,
Correct.
do you remember she was the student at school, the
Yeah, I thought, is
Slytherin
she the
one?
prefect, or is that something else? Somebody else?
I can't remember if she was a prefect in the book, but sorry, Pansy Parkinson was a
Mhm.
Slytherin. She features heavily in the books rather than the movies. Yeah. So that's what I remember. But I thought it was so funny that they put Pansy and Neville, the most like
What happened to
couple that would
Luna?
Neville and Pansy. Come on.
What happened to Luna? Was she at this dinner party? There is a dinner
She
party in the
doesn't
story.
exist. She doesn't exist in the story.
What?
What do you mean? What? Read the thing. That's what the tags are there for a reason. That
So
you
what?
gotta understand what fanfic
No,
is,
I
man.
didn't know what the tags. So when does it say in the tags like Luna doesn't
Yeah, so it
exist?
says characters. The characters are Hermione Granger, Draco Malfoy, Pansy Parkinson, Neville Longbottom, and Astoria Greengrass. And Astoria is the woman that Draco Malfoy marries,
Right.
when
Okay.
he leaves
So
high
no one
school.
else exists.
Not in this fanfic. No. You just got to keep it contained to the fanfic.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that. Like, I just.
Yeah,
You,
but that you gotta let go. You see, you gotta let go. That's the thing about fanfic. You gotta just the tools are gone, the claws are off. Just anything can
you've
happen.
opened this whole world,
Act,
and now you're trying to say like,
yeah,
no, that didn't exist anymore. Look over here, and I'm like, no, no, no. That's how I
but that's
know
the thing
that.
is, you don't have to say it didn't exist. You could just go with the story. That's it. If you want to believe that maybe Neville and Luna broke up, but that's not important to this story. You know, that's how you got to look at it. You just got to accept it.
Fine, fine, fine. I think that's where I was having difficulty. And I was like, no, no. I think let me just say that if it wasn't Draco or Hermione and it was somebody else's story and it was that, I think it would be, yeah, I would have believed it. I would have been like, right, no, this is a lovely love story. I could see the years going, like, so I'd see the months going by and this is the happy bit and I'd rooting them at the end of it. But I was a bit like, I think that's what pulled me back. I was like, no, no, what happened before? And I think that was what was pulling me back. And I'm not kind of used to this.
Yeah, you've got to let go. You've got to detach slightly. You've got to go. I know who Hermione is. I know who Draco is. Because, for example, a friend of mine does not like Hermione, and I'm not a fan much of Hermione. But in the fanfic world, I love her. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, is it
It
because of all the
it's
smart that she's like, I love her?
But also there's bits where she's very sassy. Because most of the fanfics that I've read of the drama, because obviously with it being a Hermione thing, they're like legal age, like 20 plus.
Mhm.
So she's much more mature.
I feel like I could read longer than this book now. Like I feel like okay, I got through it. I could read something longer.
But this is good. I think as your very first fanfic, this is a good start. Because you're asking all these questions. You're going, I don't get it. What do you mean? And you're sort of, and obviously this one was a very short to the point, quite get with it. But it's
Yeah,
good because it means the second time you read the next fan fiction, you'll be a bit more, okay, I understand. I get, right, the category is this, the rating is that, the characters that have been tagged are XYZ. Right.
I'm
That's
trying
it.
to get in my
Let's
head.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was
then
kind of what's going on? It was
yeah.
good that yeah, no, it broke it down by months as well, so you knew where you were. You knew that there was what the story was going to end or what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had so many questions. I was like, it was my fault because I wanted something short, but then with something short,
You
you don't
actually
get
like something a bit more.
the
Yeah.
answers. So it was like this person did this, and I'm like, but why? But why would they do that? Because this would happen, and then you're like, oh, okay, you don't know that bit. So
Yes. Yeah. No, but it's good. You're right. And it just, I think as well, it tells you what type of fanfic you want, something a little bit meatier, and that's good. This is fine, but I want something a bit more chunkier, a bit more detailed, which is good because introducing you to this fanfic, you now know what you'd prefer
yeah,
or what you feel is missing, and that's the whole dynamic of it. So I think this was very good exercise.
I think I was a bit scared coming to this as well because of everybody saying that fan fiction is pretty smutty, and I was like, oh god, there's going to be a lot of sex, and actually. there was sex in this, but it was just like this happened, and then
It's implied.
it's March, and then this happened, and then I went to a gala, and I'm like, okay. So I was like, all right, so
Yeah,
I don't, there's no detail. It was just something happened,
correct.
and this one. So I was like, oh, okay, this is right. I thought something else was going to happen, and I was like, oh God, I don't know if
Well,
I'm ready for that.
this is why I gave you this one, because I knew if I gave you some of the others, you'd be, what? Your eyes would go wide and you'd be concerned. I think the reason fan fiction is so known for its smut is because so much censorship goes on the internet. The Archive of Our Own gets rid of that because of the tag system. Because as soon as you see a tag where it might say non-consent, you'll go, oh no,
Right.
no, I'm not into that. I don't want that. Or choking or anal or something like that. You can be like, no, no, that's not my bag, please. I don't want that.
Okay.
In which case, that's okay. You can be love, romance, alien. What I will tell you is I already know you're not going to be into Omegaverse, so just cross that right off your
What is
list,
a
okay?
makeover?
Oh God, the Omegaverse is. I'm not into Omegaverse. A lot of people that are my friends are also not into it. It's just not something I can get down with. Basically, the Omegaverse, also known as Alpha, Beta, Omega, is a subgenre of speculative, often erotic, okay, fan
Okay.
fiction based on fictional, wolf-inspired, human kind of social hierarchy. So
Like
it's
Twilight, but just the Jacob bit.
no, it's it kind of has they call it the ABO, which is alpha, beta, omega. So they'll be biting like a wolf, or they'll be. Have you heard of knotting?
I don't want to know.
It's when they
No.
have sex and then they have like a knotting like mechanism. Anyway, you can look that up on your own.
No.
And then there's like biological compulsion that drives the character to a specific partner, mating things and stuff like that. Alien stuff.
No.
Often, like they're in heat because they're a wolf, so they're in heat. They can't help themselves, and then male pregnancies, like frequently, that kind of stuff. So that's
Okay.
not really my bag. Yeah, that's why I know it's not going to be your bag. It is for some people. No judgment. If it is your bag, go to it. Absolutely. That's why it's there. But
Is
it
there
just isn't for me.
is there like a network, what is it? What does AOC stand for?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Archive of Our Own. Is there something like that, which is sort of like Hallmark and those lovely Christmas movies?
But that's what I'm saying. AOC has that. It has all of that. Let me see if I can do a Hallmark one for you. Okay.
I was gonna say,
I'm going to go.
is there things like that? That would be lovely. Some girl, she just comes from the big city and she just meets a guy who just wants to fix up her house. And then she's like, no, I've got a whole life back down there, but I used to grow up here. And.
So for that example, I've gone on to Archive of Our Own and I put a tag in and I just said Hallmark, right? Or Hallmark romance. How about that?
You know what you're getting, and the world is a scary place, and I just want a nice romance.
That's it. So for example, there's one here. It says immediately there's 30 that have come up. It says cheesy Hallmark romance. Okay. And you go, great, fantastic. What have we got here? So I click on cheesy Hallmark tags and it comes up with a few. So for example, the first one will interest you. The Prancing Pegasus Ranch, based around The Hobbit, Peter
Oh,
Jackson's movies. Okay. By Abignus Sleepy Hunters, sorry.
okay.
It says here, as the tags are, so if I click on that, you go, oh, that sounds intriguing. What are the tags? Okay. And it says, fluff, feel good, horses, like a gay Hallmark movie. Okay. So obviously, maybe you want more female to male because this is male to male. But the point
Is
is,
it
there's
about
nothing about.
horses?
But
Like,
there's no, it's not, the rating is general audience. There's no X-rated this stuff in it. It's just
is it about people or
that.
horses?
So this one says the relationship is Bard the bowman and Thranduil. You remember Thranduil?
No.
Who's Legolas's dad? And Bard the bowman,
Oh,
right?
right. Okay. So people, right. I thought when you said
These are the
horses, I
two.
assumed it was horses. And I was
No,
like,
so
what?
that's a So hold on. Let's break this down for you. Category, male to male. It's a gay
Right. Okay.
romance. Fandom, The Hobbit,
Okay.
Jackson movies. Characters, right, so these are all the characters. Bard the Bowman, Tolkien.
Okay.
Thranduil, Legolas, Alfred Lickspittle, I can't remember him, but anyway. Bane of Dale, Sigrid, and Tilda. Okay. Then you have, what is the relationship? The relationship is between Bard the Bowman and Thranduil.
Right.
Fantastic.
Okay.
What's the language is English, and additional tags is fluff, feel good, horses, like a gay Hallmark movie. So that's just telling you that's what's in it. There's stuff in it. And then at least it gives you a little summary before you get into it that says, Bard is at risk from losing it all, his home,
Oh,
his
no.
ranch, and his livelihood after his wife dies. He has 3 children to look after and a decaying farm to fix up. When the bank means appraising threats to take everything he has out from under him, Bard is determined to find a way to save his family home. When his neighbor, Thranduil, drops off a pregnant mare, so Thranduil's like, hey, I've got to drop off this pregnant mare, he rescued from the prancing pony ranch, Bard is in for a big surprise. Exactly what he needs is the last thing he expects. Their newfound mare pops out an unlikely fowl, one that sprouts wings and delivers just as much trouble as they do magic. You see? You see what I'm saying? This is fluff. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is Hallmark. And then you can go, that's not quite for me. What's the next one down? And so far, and keep
Okay.
going, and it goes on for, it's endless, I tell
Okay.
you.
Okay.
So back to Keep It Like a Secret. So did you enjoy the way it was written? I'm going to say you probably didn't, because it sounds like you wanted more and there just wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer if there was a bit more. I mean, I knew someone's kind of work that they would have put together. I could read it, and I was like, yeah, this is great, but I really wish that there was more of a story there. And there could be more of a story there. It just depended what kind of audience. And so I mean, I don't know the author, so I'm a bit like, right, well, what did they want to get out of it, and who did they want it to? Maybe they wanted it for more of a teenage audience, which would really fit in, or something. Post 18.
Yes,
But
exactly.
yeah, but I kind of expected. I was like, oh, I kind of want more from
But
him.
but you could follow it. It was easy. I felt the writing
Yeah,
was good. It
it was
wasn't
really easy
clumsy or
to. Yeah.
sloppy. It was very to the point. It very much delivered what they wanted to do for their story, but it is very to the point. How did the story make you feel overall? When you got to the end, you finished the story, were you like, "Aw," or were you like, "Hmm."
No, I did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good story for that world and really nice and sweet. But there were a lot of questions. I think I came up and said, "Oh, that's nice," and then I went,
You
"Oh,
couldn't accept it. You
no,
couldn't
no,
accept
no."
it.
But like, there's a bit at the end where she says, like
Mhm.
she goes to see him, and it's supposed to be the wedding bit. I'm not spoiling, like,
And he's
spoiling.
upset.
Yeah, and he said he had to get married before he turned 30, or a whole load of curses would happen. And then it just gets dropped, and I'm like, what curses? What will happen? What is the curse? Like, I want to know that story. That seems like a dark story. Come on. And then it's like, no. And I'm like,
It
oh,
is intriguing. It is. But at least it kind of gave you a reason why he was marrying her anyway. And obviously, Astoria wasn't well either. So they knew they weren't in love with each other. They
yeah,
were just marrying each other because A, of that curse, but also so she had someone to keep her company while she was, dying, essentially.
next
That's what I
door.
got from it.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God.
I don't know what she was dying of, but we don't need to know that, I guess. That wasn't point. And it was nice that it kind of got to the end and she realized that actually this is
She
really
must.
nice. I don't want to be a housewife, but this hasn't been a typical, oh, let me pick up your laundry, dear. It's been very,
Yeah.
uh,
No, it was more like
they're
she didn't
very
know
much
she was in love.
matched. Yeah, they matched with each other. She didn't think they would. They would just have a bit of fun. But then actually they matched, and he was really upset because he thought, I'm gonna be that guy that's like, no, I don't care, like it was just a fling, whatever. But actually he did care. And then when there's a locket he gives her that has two
Yeah.
keys in it, and it starts rattling a lot because I think he's trying to claw its way out to say he really wants to be with you. And so when she meets him at the end at the altar, because there's a moment where Pansy Parkinson, she comes in and she
Fix it.
goes, fix it, Hermione, because he's upset. And she's just like, all right, well, I don't know. But ultimately she does know. She's just pretending she
Yeah.
doesn't. But she loves him. He loves her. They've got feelings. It happened during the affair. What are you going to do? So clearly she's just extending the contract and then hoping they'll still be in love with each other.
Yeah, so it just kind of leaves it like that. Yeah, you kind of could do a sequel if you wanted or whatever. We could do a sequel of The Curse.
Yes, you could. It's an interesting one. What is this curse? Talk more about it. But was there anything in the story that you were surprised by, or did you feel? For me, the one thing I was surprised about was Neville and Pansy. I mean, I was like, no,
No, that
never.
no, I don't really see that happening. Also, there was a bit in it where they go on holiday
Yes,
and
they would go
it
to
just keep
Italy.
yeah, and he like gives her loads of gifts and stuff like this, and she's like, "Oh, like I'm treated and all this kind of thing." But that's the one thing she didn't want. She wanted to be her own woman, and I was like, "What's going on here?" I thought you were supposed to
She's
be so.
bending the rules. That's what's happening because she
And then
fancies
what?
him.
Are you gonna get him anything? Like, he's just paying her all this money, and you're just gonna let him, and you gonna get a bit anything? No, no.
Well, she explained the
Okay.
rules. She explained the rules. It's but quite right.
She changed
Was
the holiday.
she bent the rules. Yeah, she knew what she was up to. She said, I probably shouldn't do this, but all right, I feel like it. And then that's why she fell hard. She fell hard. That's it.
Yeah, that's what's what. Wait a minute, that it was sort of like we got this sassy girl, and then all of a sudden she was like, "Okay, buy me presents," and then she went back to being sassy again. I was like, "What happened on that holiday?"
My final question
Okay.
is, would you actually recommend this fan fiction to anybody?
I would probably recommend it to someone who was maybe like a Harry Potter fan or was in like fan fictions.
I think it's competent writing. I think you get straight down to the point.
Mhm.
It's a really sweet read. It does make you feel really warm and happy when you finish it.
Yeah.
So it ticks all the boxes of a very sweet little story. So I would recommend it, but I think I wouldn't recommend it to some of my friends because I know they would be very similar to your experience. They would be, no, I need so much detail, it's unreal.
Yeah, I need more details
Um
about what this is and what that is, and I
yeah.
feel like you need to like Harry Potter as well.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 50-50 on that. I think you're right and could be wrong because I'm very interested in the Harry Potter dynamic because like you say, we've watched it, we've read it,
Mhm.
we enjoy it. So we can get down with it. But I the reason I wouldn't read typically a Game of Thrones fanfic is because I don't love it and the world that it's within and the characters.
Yeah.
There's no one that I'm greatly attached to. If someone gave me though a fanfic about Game of Thrones and said it doesn't matter, it's just really good story, okay, I'll read it, no problem. Because it might just be a really good story and I don't really need to know who the characters are. And I think that's the other thing. You
Mhm.
don't have to know. I mean, for example, there's a boy band there that I don't really know that well, Boy Next Door. I know of them, but I don't know them well. I could maybe read that, but maybe I wouldn't get the same enjoyment as somebody else would because they'd be going, "Oh my god, I know that guy and I feel this too."
I think if it's your first time reading fan fiction, this is quite a good read because it kind of
Mm.
gets you in and you're like, right, okay, it's short, sweet. you kind of know what's happening. So I do think
Yeah.
it is a good first read if people do want to read some fan fiction and they've never done it before.
Yeah. Is there a fanfic fandom that you would be interested to read? And remember, it's everything and anything. So it could even be like Nirvana, Foo Fighters, could be Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Lord of the Rings, anything.
Let's have a think. I'd like it if it was something like Lord of the Rings or maybe, but not the main characters. Like you go somewhere and
The
find out.
side characters.
Yeah, you go, what was under those mountains? What happened to those guys under the mountain? Why they all died? Like, what was there? That was dark. If there was like an Aragon smutty read, I would not like that. I think because is in my head and I'm like,
Oh my God,
no,
now you've
no.
opened a
No,
door.
no,
You've
no. Like if it
opened
was like an
a
Aragon
door.
like this, and Aragon like falls in love with this, and then it's a whole like sexy. I was like, no, no, I don't want that. That I've got an image, and that's how he'll be, and I don't want to have anything else in there. No, no. I wonder if there's a Titanic one, like a Titanic one that went a bit.
Of course there is. There's
A
100%
Titanic
Titanic.
horror. That's what I want to read. A Titanic horror movie.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's
Fanfiction.
see.
Sorry.
There's 2 that have come up. Here
There's
you go.
2.
Because I said female to male. If I put general, there might be more. So
Okay.
this one is teen and up audiences, okay, for the rating. The
Okay.
category I put is female to male. The fandom, of course, Titanic's 1997. And there is also apparently mythology, Greek religion, Hellenic polytheism. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And there's a lot of characters. I'm not going to go through them. But some of the tags, there's quite a lot, but I'm not going to go through them all. But some of the tags I'll pick out are time travel, soft magic, gods, ghosts. It is a slow burn. There is gentle romance. There is survival, trauma. Captain Smith deserved better.
Do you want to read this now?
subtle horror. A found family, emotional hurt, comfort, historical accuracy, kinda. Strong female protagonist.
There's a lot of stories in there.
Yeah, so Murdoch is soft but hiding it. So I'll give you the summary, everybody. It's called Saltwater and Starlights by Kaylin James. So Kaylin James, thank you for this. Summary is when Evelyn Hart boards the MS Balmoral in 2012 for
Who's
the
Evelyn
Titanic.
Hart? Is that who's
Evelyn Hart is...
No, is she from a movie? I can't remember.
I'm only getting
Continue.
ballet dancer. I don't know. So, when Evelyn Hart boards the MS Balmoral in 2012 for the Titanic Memorial Cruise, she expects only grief, reverence, and closure. Instead, during the midnight ceremony, the sea answers her devotion to the gods. Ghosts appear on the deck. Captain Smith, Wilde, Murdoch, and Evelyn is pulled through time and cold water, waking aboard the RMS Adriatic in 1910. With forged documents shaped by divine hands, a dangerous bag of future artifacts, and knowledge of the tragedy to come, Evelyn must survive, blend in, and choose. Can she change the fate of the Titanic? Also, should she? And why do the officers, Murdoch, Wilde, and the rest, all along with Andrews, seem drawn to the strange young woman the sea refused to claim? The gods are watching. The sea remembers her, and history has begun to shift. Well done. That's a great summary, by the way, Kaylin James. I like it. So there's one, but it's very much subtle horror. But that's the joy of fanfic. You write something, some people might like it, some people might not like it, and that's okay. But it is, I guarantee you, if you've thought about it, someone's wrote about it. Which is why fanfic is always so fun, because you can sometimes say, do you know, I'd love to read a story that was kind of set in this world but had romance, or it had murder and horror, or it was a thriller, and it had these characters and maybe they try to kill each other, and I guarantee you'll find something fairly close. So There you go. So overall, are you intrigued into reading
Yeah,
more?
I am intrigued. I feel like I could have read more. Now that I've kind of read that and how quick it was, I feel like, okay, I could read more now. I was just a bit like, oh, am I going to get through this? Am I going to read this much? I don't know. But I could. So I feel like I could read a larger fan fiction, maybe something that would go in a bit more depth because that's what I was missing. I was like, what's this? What's going on? I don't understand. And I feel like it's maybe a work in progress that I need to look at the tags and say these people don't exist and not go, wait a minute. You just tried to like you punched him in the face and then didn't he set fire to the room of requirements? What the hell? Like just and your friends now?
Yeah, we're fine. We're cool. We've just forgotten
Did he
about that. We're
murder a
just
whole lot
blocking
of
it
your
out.
friends?
Just blocking out. We just
He
blocked it
murdered your
out.
teacher.
He didn't murder anybody.
Oh well, no, you know who's
Kind
wanted.
of. I mean,
He did
yeah, I
murder
know what you mean. You have to, but I think what's a really good task as well is if you are intrigued or into fan fiction and you are listening to us divulge into this, it's good to go onto AOC Archive of Our Own and just go to the search button and play around with the tags. And, you know, the one thing you want to hit is works for the search, because obviously there you can search for bookmarks, you can search for specific tags, you can search for people if you know somebody that's written a fanfic and you want to look them up. And you can search works. But if you don't really know, just click on search works and then have a look down at all the writing, because it comes in different columns, and fill in what you want. Anything, play around with it, see what comes up, and you can. But tags are a good indication of what's going to be in the story, so you're not going to be shocked into, oh well, this one didn't say anything about smut, and there's suddenly smut in it. Like it will have that in, and that's why Archive of Our Own is so great, because you get what you want. You know, you could be really messed up and say, I want some weird ass smut. It's there. You know, go
Someone's
for it.
written.
You know, yeah, I mean, I had no judgment at all, but sometimes, you know, the heart wants what it wants and it's there for you. Go for it. And sometimes it's funny, you know, if you think of something, oh, would it be funny if Edward Cullen actually, you know, decided to was a werewolf instead of a vampire? What would happen if him and you know, Jacob were best buddies and then they bullied Bella? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Is
maybe,
there
I guarantee you there's a version of that.
is there a love story with the worm of Midgard? Who knows? There probably is.
Guaranteed there's a lot of Akatar fanfic in this.
I wonder if there's a
100%.
love story with the worm. Oh, he was a man and he was turned into a worm. Broken hearts. I could write this.
Oh. And you could also write it yourself if you want to. That's the joy of it. That is the joy. I am very happy with two comments I got. Thank you, Biscuit Lover. They were like, ooh, this is good. And the smut was phenomenal. It got me all jelly. I like it. Many kudos. So thank you, because that's exactly what the point was. And there's another one, Cream Hildra. I have to go and look to see if you've made part 2 yet. I'm invested. Great. I am making part 2. I'm making it. It's just not happened yet. So it's coming. I've been writing my own book, but there you go. So, fan fiction, Lynda. The world is vast and will never stop. But I'm glad that we've able to get you interested. And it sounds like you want to read Lord of the Rings fandom next.
Or Titanic.
Or Titanic.
Let's see what happens. I'll give you a list.
Well, our next episode is us starting our next book, which is A Court of Mist and Fury, as we announced in the last podcast. So we'll be doing the first few chapters of that.
Discussing all things what happened to Faye post Amarantha.
Please tune in next week for that. And we'll be doing over the course of 5 episodes, just because it's a bit longer. And once we've finished A Court of Mist and Fury, we will be doing another fanfic on Lynda's side quest and see how she gets on with building your fanfic. I don't know, experience.
Yeah. If you've got any crazy Titanic fan fiction recommendations, please do let me know. I'm really eager to hear.
I know. Now someone's going, Yeah, thank you so much for joining us again.
Oh, thank you.
Please make sure to hit subscribe and follow us. And wherever you are listening to us or watching us, YouTube and Spotify are our main hubs we like to promote, but obviously there are different platforms you can listen to our podcast. Keep up to date with what we've got on socials. We will always have some updates for you on our general love for books.
Yeah, we'll be posting up there. Keep in touch. And yeah, join us for next week's episode with A Court of Mist and Fury.
If you would like to share any other fanfics with us, please do. And any tips for novice fanfic people, please do also share. But in the meantime, we will see you next Tuesday. We are here every Tuesday on wherever you listen to your podcast.